Hello, I'm Diego. I'm here in Paris today with Riccardo. Riccardo, thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you very much for inviting me to this event. My name is Riccardo Abello. I'm a partner and co-head of the real estate team at Eurazeo. Eurazeo is a French private equity group. We cover all the spectrum of the private markets, from private equity, private debt, and real asset. So I'm part of the real asset team. Today we are approaching 40 billion of AUM, so the company is in a strong growth mode. My team focuses on operational real estate, which is, let's say, the buzzword of real estate for the next cycle. So we're very excited to be able to invest in these operational sectors that we think are thriving and with a lot of tailwind looking ahead.
As you focus on the operational real estate across Western Europe, which asset class and regions do you see that is offering the most attractive returns?
So we focus, we have, let's say, our strategy is grounded on three pillars, no, in terms of macro trends that we like to exploit in our fund and investments. So the first pillar is really what is the penetration of services within traditional real estate asset classes, right? You see in the residential how many, what we call specialized living, whether it's student, senior, co-living. So you have addressing residential for different cohorts in a different way, overlaying a level of services that are key, to commercialize your asset. Same for industrial use with self-storage, cold storage, with data centers. Same is happening in the office, for the flex space, especially in a location like London, where it's now become mainstream asset class. Second pillar is leisure hospitality. It really capitalizes on the fact that from millennia onwards, people spend more of their disposable income on experience and less on durable goods. That creates global aggregate demand for hospitality and leisure. We like all the declination from city hotel, resort, outdoor hospitality like camping, glamping, all this kind of new modern concept, all the way down to the pure leisure. We just recently acquired a thermal park, which is basically a theme park of hot water if you want. So we like everything in that bucket. And then thirdly is healthcare. Why? Because we are an aging continent, so that's very clear. And we have the skill set within our team to tackle everything from acute care hospital all the way down to assisted living and any level of care and specialization in between, typically in healthcare services, which are the asset-heavy healthcare platform. So that's where we navigate. We focus on the 5 main economies in Europe: UK, France, Germany, Italy, and Spain. We all have national in the team. It's important because when you acquire operational real estate, typically locally you operate the local language, clearly not in English, so we can do this SPA in English, but you need to be speaking the language, connecting with the management team, developing a relationship is really important. And so we try to be focused on where we know the best.
Given the high competitive on the high potential sectors like healthcare and digital infrastructure, how do you identify investment opportunities?
So we focus on product first. So between the operation and the real estate, we like to look at the operation first. I think the key of success in operational real estate is really to own businesses that use real estate in an intensive way. So if you have the right product, then you can source the real estate. If you have the highest EBITDA per square meter within the hospitality sector, then you can win every site to expand your platform. So that's where we focus at the beginning. We like to do research first. So we look at the spectrum, what is available to buy, who owns it, what's coming to the market way before the opportunity comes to market. We're not opportunistically reacting to opportunities. We're proactively mapping the market, reaching out and trying to secure opportunities. Same as happened in the data center space, where we wanted to focus on low latency data center in urban context. Why? Because these are the most future-proof. You have big giant like NVIDIA and they like investing in the space. We don't have that visibility on the hardware nor on the software because we are not part of that equation. And so we want to have a resilient product, and the resilient product is having the low latency that is relevant for now high frequency trading, for cloud, AI, in the future for autonomous driving, and so on and so forth.
And in terms of ESG and technology, how this is part of your investment process decisions?
So ESG is really key. We at Eurazeo, we have been looking at ESG for over a decade now. So before it was mainstream, I would say before it was a bit aspirational. Now real estate is becoming regulatory, so you cannot not do it. You saw the Decreto share in France, for example, so forces the market to price the capex in and so forth. We try to identify opportunity where we can have a win-win situation whereby investing in improving the ESG credential, not only we create a more liquid product, but we also have a benefit in the business itself that we operate. For example, in the thermal part that we just acquired, we have integrated also an energy company, if you want, within the park, acquiring some hydropower plant, and there will be a big investment in creating solar over the car park. Why? Well, clearly the asset is going to become energy independent, so great from a sustainability perspective, but you also have your second largest cost in the P&L, not procure at market rates, and we saw the fluctuation of energy price during COVID, but actually you produce it at cost, which increases your marginality and lowers the volatility of your EBITDA, improving the value of the overall business. Technology, I mean, if you want to touch on this, is also very important. Eurazeo is one of the largest technology investors in Europe. So we have a big venture and growth capital team on the private equity side. So we benefit from that ecosystem. Recently we have acquired this thermal park. I give you this example because it's the most recent acquisition that we have done. We immediately couple with a front-end marketing technology solution that we own in our portfolio on the other end. And we have a team in-house within Eurazeo that works across all the portfolio companies just to focus on their technological solution. So we are not an expert as a team, but within Eurazeo, we have a team that is super expert, and we know pretty much the landscape of technology very well because of our venture and growth business.
As you said and mentioned in terms of the languages and the team, I believe that it's not easy to operate in multiple markets, right? How do you adapt yourself in terms of investment strategy to remain agile and protect your returns?
So we are very entrepreneurial team, so the origination is very entrepreneurial. When it comes to due diligence, we have to flesh out all the problem about the regulatory. You can imagine business like healthcare is extremely highly regulated because of the nature of the services you provide. And so we need to get our heads around. We clearly are not expert in everything everywhere. We have now been in these 5 markets for a long time, so we know the basic of all the regulatory framework on the sector that we're tracking. But we conduct due diligence at acquisition, relying on expert. And thereafter, then, we have to monitor it real time. And that's part of the review that we do, say, on a quarterly basis on each asset. Hold and sale analysis. It's not just about the capital market, but also the look of the risk that are fronted. Some of that could be regulatory, because typically when there is a regulatory change, it means CapEx, and having to spend defensive CapEx on asset where you cannot improve revenue, it means losing investment value. So we need to be very careful to integrate those kind of risks into our decision of hold or selling at the right time an asset.
What do you see as the main benefits of joining the GRI Institute?
This is quite a unique opportunity that I'm very busy traveling for investment, fundraising, and all the activity to come here for a couple of days and understand what's going on in the market, reconnect with all my peers, competitors, understanding the latest trends, insights. There's a lot of sharing of information that is very difficult to gather. So adds a lot of value to my life as investment professional for sure. And a lot of people reach out, also new connection. So it's a great way to network. So if you're not a member yet, I think you should consider it, because it's a really well organized event and a lot of opportunity to meet and reconnect with people.